Hi, everybody. So this is Miss Angeli. Hi. I'm going to try this a different way. Instead of looking at me the whole time, you can look at the paper so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So I've got a piece of watercolor paper here. It's just a little thicker than a regular piece of like copy or printer paper. So look around for some thick paper that you can use, maybe even a thicker piece of cardboard, especially if it has like a white coating on it. I also have this ginormous set of watercolor paints. I know some of you might not have your paints at home, but remember you can always make your own paints with magic markers. Just take your old magic markers and soak them in water for a day or two. They make great watercolors. I've also got some watercolor brushes here, a cup of water to wash my brush, and I have this cute little teacup here, and I've got a little bit of salt in this teacup, just a little bit of salt, okay? So for Easter, my kids and I did this watercolor project. We made these little watercolor eggs, which you could certainly do and just save them for next year. I'll show you a couple more. But you could also do this with any shape at all. They look kind of cosmic to me. So I think we're going to make a planet today. So I'm going to take my brush. I've got quite a bit of water on my brush. And I'm just going to draw a kind of circular shape with the water. So all I have on my brush now is water. And now I'm just going to start dipping my watercolors, which I'm also getting quite a bit of water and the color on my brush. That ring of water that you painted kind of makes a little outline, like a little kind of fence for your watercolors to go in, and they don't go past that area. Now I'm just adding some watercolor. I'm just going to add just some water in here. So then I can take my watercolor and I can just drop it in that water. As you can see, it's kind of spreading just in the water. And I think you guys have experimented with this before, so you probably know what I'm talking about. This is going to be kind of a purpley blue planet here. And really, cool thing about these is they turn out really beautifully no matter how you paint them, is what my kids and I found. Any color combination is going to look kind of interesting, especially when it dries. So then you can just go and add a little more water. And then I'm going to take this purple here and just go back and add a few of these kind of little dots in there. And then I'm going to take my salt, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt in some of those areas that are a little more wet. So the salt is going to absorb a little bit of the watercolors. And if you let the salt dry, you'll see, if you let that salt dry, you'll see kind of little starburst patterns that the salt makes when it reacts with the water as it dries, and kind of the salt kind of like melts into it. There's going to be a little bit of extra salt on your paper at the end. You can kind of see on here, those are like the little starburst patterns that the salt made. At the end, when it's all dry, you can just brush those little bits of salt off your paper, but you don't want to do it until it's fairly dry, or else you won't really get that nice starburst effect. So here's this little planet here. I'm actually just gonna experiment with this a little bit. I'm gonna take a little of this black watercolor, just kind of go around the edge. I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but I might as well try it out, right? Okay, so I'm just experimenting with that a little bit. Yeah, I actually kind of like that gives the edge of the planet a little more definition. So you could make a lot of these planets. You could even kind of turn this into a little research project. try to make your planets a little more accurate in color. You can look up some what planets really look like, or you can just have fun, kind of come up with your own galaxies and worlds. Once this is dry, I would probably cut it out and maybe glue it onto a different background, but that would be up to you. All right, thanks guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.